So the question comes up is, how do you actually create something from nothing? That is one of the quintessential things in entrepreneurship or innovation, where you look at something and you can put this thing together. And there's lots of different ways that you can do this and lots of different sort of formulas to do this, or people do it. A lot of people sort of rely on or think that, venture capital or Silicon Valley is the way to actually create the something from nothing. But, in reality, the vast majority of businesses in this world, or innovations or entrepreneurial ventures, they don't exist in Silicon Valley. That is only a small chunk, a very tiny, unusual case of things that actually happen in this world that are creating something from nothing. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward and help you out as much as I possibly can. Creating something from nothing is very hard. It's very difficult. And the sort of view that a lot of us have is that all we need to get is a certain amount of capital or a certain amount of money and invest in that particular thing and put as much money as somebody else has, as somebody else that they possess, into something to grow something. But this model of doing sort of the venture capital model, or pursuing the way that was rather unusual until even a couple of decades ago, that people believe that we have to invest a substantial amount of money or get funders to build something or get crowdfunding to do something, to put it all together. But in actuality, the vast majority of businesses in this world, they do sometimes get a bank loan. That does happen. But often it is just simply somebody willing this thing and pushing it forward and continuing to push the thing forward, while everybody else looks at it and says, well, that's kind of a silly thing to do. And that person does it over and over and over again until they're blue in the face, until finally they get one person to believe in the thing that they're actually trying to build. And then all of a sudden they have something that maybe is something a little different, something a little unique. And it is something that's a spark of nothingness. And then that spark of nothingness turns into something that's just a little bit more than nothing. And when it's that little bit more than nothing, that person that continues to persist and push that thing and continue to work at that thing day in and day out, then they refine it a little bit until it turns into something that's just a little bit more. And then they work at it and work at it and work at it until it turns into something that's just even a little bit more, until eventually it turns into something where people say, that's something. I would never have thought of that. How did you do that? It just takes unbelievable amounts of effort every day, and you have to do that for a decade. You probably have to do it for 2 decades until it actually becomes something. So if you're like me, I'm trying to create the whole reciprocity project. The E is written with a 3. And by the way, please go buy some credits. It would be very helpful for me. It doesn't matter who you are and what you're doing. Just go buy some credits so that you can try it out, play around with it, even just go on and sign in to the application so I could see that there's something that's going on. Because what I'm trying to do is, I think it's a very good effort to change the way that we actually do writing in this world, to change the way that we actually do research in this world, change the way that we work together, and trying to make it more collaborative by putting the resources available so that we can get feedback on our work. And I'm going to continue to push this thing out, continue to do these silly videos, continue to push this out until it turns into just a little bit. And when it turns into that just a little bit, I'm going to take it and I'm going to keep working at it until it turns into something a little more. And I'm going to do that for a decade, maybe even 2 decades. And everybody's going to say how silly that is. And everybody's going to say that's the dumbest thing I've seen. And they'll do that until it turns into something. And then I go look back and say, I did it. And it was all because of you and what you have contributed at this moment. So I can't do this without you. I really do need your help. I'm going to be here and I'm going to keep pushing this stuff out. But you really, really need to help me out, because I want to turn this into something that's a little bigger than just one person. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.